about the whole cheating aspect?
Well, that came later when I was on. I didn't know nothing about cheating until until these guys would come in and you know, they'd drop $50 in your hand, and you'd say, what the hell is, nobody ever tips me, you know what I mean? Well, I'm just saying, I'm not that naive. I knew what cheaters were. I knew what to look for. We'd been up, you know, I was taught how to spot cheaters. But when they started coming in, a few of them that I liked, young ones, they were something else. They're exciting. They were young. They were like my age, and they were good. They didn't get caught. You know, they'd come in, and I didn't even know who they were. I'd be sitting in the bar, and the guy would slide me over a drink, and the next thing I know, there was like $100 stacked in chips, and I was in a bar. And what the hell is this for? And then the couple of them caught me, you know, we're sitting in the bar, and we played pool. And then eventually I got to know them, and found out the whole scam, and they'd come to you and say, we want to play on you. What do you mean, play on me? Yeah, you want to play on you. We're going to come in here, and we're going to do this, and this, and you're going to get a percentage of what we win. We just want to know, so what do you want from me? All we want to know is when the manager is up on us. Now, in those days, we didn't have cameras in the house. You know, all there was a hole over every table up in the roof, a glass hole that the boss would come over and up in the rafters and look down on a table. And they had to have they'd take fucking binoculars and look down on the table to see what the guy was doing. That's how crude it was, and there was no cameras. And I was up there in the sweaty times, up in the rafters, looking over, watching, trying to find thieves. And it's not a good way to make a living. But the best way to make a living was when they walk in, and then the thieves would either be in the bar, and then they'd be in the motel room next door, and they'd take me over. And I said, well, show me how you do it. You know, what do you do? Oh, we shuffle like this. We take a bottom load, top load, and we riffle it up. And then, you know, everybody's dealing themselves, and we hop the cut. And then you hop the cut, and you deal from them. Show me how you deal from the bottom. And they show me how to deal from the bottom. And they show me how they stack the deck, and they could deal you a full house, and this guy another full house bigger. And then he could deal the other guy a royal flush if he wanted to. That's how good they were. And I said, well, Jesus Christ, how you guys get so good? How you know this? How do you know this? Well, our dad taught us. They say our daddy taught us. And these guys are from the two brothers I'll never forget, Jimmy and Bobby. One was a red hair, Jimmy, and Bobby was a black hair guy. You know, they were a few years apart, about my age, and then they'd come in and they were great. They were just great. Pool players, cockfighters, they championship cockfighters. Even to this day, the last time I heard from friends of mine, still around, there's only one state in the United States where they allow cockfighting, and that's Louisiana. And they were the cockfighting champions of the world, and they won $100,000. Not last year, 2006, but I think it was 2005 that I was told. Now these guys are from Fresno, all right? Now these are the guys that I grew up with, that taught, actually the first ones that ever taught me the moves. How to take a deck up, and how to lace it, and how to fucking shuffle it and everything, and what they were doing, the two guys together, two brothers at the table. Now they came in the daytime when I was there. Eventually they got caught and were barred, you know, everybody knew who they were after about a year. Now, the next year they come back and they're walk in the door and they're dressed like women. I don't spot them. They say, at the bar, there they are again. I said, I thought you got, they dropped down another a couple $100 on me, right? And I looked at them, I said, what? I didn't see you there today. Next day I see them, and they were dressed like girls. In drag. This would be more drag. They look good, too. They're playing a big game, two girls, and nobody could tell the difference. These guys are funny. They took off the biggest pimp pool player in Gardena one time. Well, one brother, Bobby, did. He took a broomstick. He took the broomstick out there. He took his knife out of his back pocket and whittled off the tip of the broomstick, squared it up, chalked it up, and proceeded to beat him in 9-ball. Now, I'll never forget that. I've used that ploy after I got pretty good later. You know, if you play another guy that's not too good or whatever, you know you can beat him or make him gamble. Now, these guys are characters. Now, my friend, the Greek, the true Greek, the one that did the $30 million trip on TV and everything, I didn't know that. I didn't know it. I hadn't watched TV in years. I'm at Hollywood Park working, and the Greek is in there, and I shake it. Hey, how you doing? What's happening? You know, he's playing fucking whatever, you know. I'm looking for a kickback, seeing what he's going to do. The first thing he asked me, this is years later, right? Years later, after all this shit back in the 70s, now we're in the 90s, the late 90s. And the first thing he asked me, Paul, can you get your hands on the deck, on the cards? Can you get me aces? I said, nah, I ain't me aces off the card control over there at the card desk. I can't get it for you. They've got cameras all over the room, right? He can do anything with a deck, but he can't get a hold of it. But he can hold out cards. He can take a card and you won't even know where it's at. He'll have an ace up his asshole, down to his hand in 2 seconds of it. If he's looking for all he needs is one ace from the dealer, or maybe he has 2 aces up his ass and change out both of them. Take one back and take one out here, he's gone. You know what I mean? They can do all kinds they're magic. You know, people can do all kinds of shit. Now once you got the dealer under control, let's say you got the dealers in your pocket. The dealer is going to deal for you because you're going to pay him, right? Now the dealer is working for the house, right, making minimum wage and tips, but he's dealing for you every half hour, every other half hour for, you know, they change him out a lot. Now that dealer's working for you. These guys, these cheaters today train the dealers to make jackpots. Oh yeah, the best now, Lefty Louie, one of my best friends that still comes around, you know, to the house here to see me, because we're friends a long time. He don't give a shit about nothing, you know. He was busted in Vegas 2-3 years ago. Had the biggest scam. You've seen it on TV, the cheater's getting caught, the cheater's getting caught. Well, he's the front runner, the first guy in there getting caught. Change of cars, whatever, you know. He's fucking spent 2 years in jail. They couldn't figure out how he was cheating. That's right, because the manager of a club, you know, set him up for his own self, you know, had get his quota, whatever. But he had a great scam. He brought it in here, showed me how for, you know, 5 years he was making tons of money with a computer. But it's all about training the dealer to work with you. You know, we'll go into that some other time, maybe off camera. But they couldn't prove how. In Las Vegas, they can't put you in jail unless they know how you're cheating. That's how good they were. They didn't know how he was cheating.
Did anybody ever use fabricated chips or cards for the clubs to?
You mean the forgeries of chips and cards, of chips? Yeah, they have that. You know, that's a common thing. But no, you know, the real thing is a forgery of money. $100 bills.